I realized that a lot of our friends probably don't have any idea of what we do when we say we sell go-karts and parts. So I'm out here in the parts shop today. I've got to do some inventory, restock some parts, and then ship some orders out. So I thought I'd bring you along and show you exactly what we do. Got a bunch of parts orders that I'm going to unpack and some new coloring books. And look, there was a bird's nest because now there's a whole family of birds in our helmet. And then when they ship it to us, there's not any sort of packing slip or invoice or anything. I don't know how many there are. Are there any more in the... Samson, leave it. Let's see if I can get... Oh. All right, you go on. I don't want you to eat the baby bird. Lay down. Samson hurt his foot on something. He won't let us look at it. Hey. Leave the bird alone. Good dog. Today, I'm going to open up these 2 packages that I got. They're parts orders, so they're a restock. And I'm just going to go through and see what all we've got and put it away on the shelves. And you can restock inventory with me. These parts orders are always a little bit interesting because our supplier doesn't have a website. It's all just by email. So I just tell them what part I need and what model it's for. And then when they ship it to us, there's not any sort of packing slip or invoice or anything to tell me what it all is. So I have to just know what these parts are, which when we first started this, it was a great way for me to learn because I had to just figure it out. And I did a lot of like checking parts manuals and things like that and learning it. I just made a loaf of bread, so ignore the flour on me. All right, we've got carburetors. These are carburetors for a mid XRX. I know that it's an XRX because it does not have a choke lever on it. So it's the electric start model. If it was for the XRS, it would have a choke lever because they don't have electric start. They're full start only. This also fits the mini XRX. They're the same. And I sell these like crazy in the springtime and early summer because people are getting their carts out and they lift them all winter with fuel in them. And most people don't know how to clean a carburetor or don't want to fool with it. And this carburetor is cheaper than an hour of shop labor to pay a real shop to clean your carburetor. You got birds. There's about 6 of them and they live in that helmet up there. Scott's having to take my external hard drive down to the computer geek store, so whatever it's called. I dropped it on concrete the other day and now it won't work. And I've got all of my YouTube content, all of my Go-Kart Masters promo videos and all that, and a bunch of important files on there that I need. And it's like a 5 terabyte hard drive and I've only used like 3% of the memory on it. So hopefully they can fix it. And if they can't fix it, hopefully they can at least retrieve all the data from it and put it on a new one. So anyway, that's what Scott's off to do. There's more carburetors. All right, next we've got some clutches. There's 2 different style clutches like this that go on the minis. And the difference is a 10 tooth and a 12 tooth. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a 10 tooth. These go on the standard minis, but we also recommend that anybody who buys a plus model go ahead and upgrade to this. On the plus model, they've switched it over to a 12 tooth, which is a little strange anyway, because it used to be that a 12 tooth clutch was a number 35, and this is a 40. So it's weird to have a 12 tooth number 40 clutch, and people call me all the time and try to tell me that they know what they're talking about, and if it's got 12 teeth, then it's got to be a 35 chain, and they don't want to listen to me. They don't think I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, this is the 10 tooth, so I'm restocking those for the mini standard models. And these are a good option if you've got that mini plus and you're having a hard time with that low end torque, especially on like loose gravel and stuff. The mini pluses with that 12 tooth clutch, they don't have enough low end torque and they'll have a hard time taking off, getting the big tires spinning. So these 10 tooth clutches are the way to go for sure. There's another one. All right, I grabbed some belts for the 150 cart. Unfortunately, I can't find any performance belts in this size. We've got some really, really good quality USA made performance belts for the smaller carts, but I can't find one for these. So that's a little aggravating. They feel a little cheap, but at least they're OEM and people like that. Some carburetor studs for the mini and mid-size go-karts. some lower sprockets that go on axles. And this looks like it's either, this could be a mini or a mid. I usually just have to count the teeth on these. I think that this is a mid without reverse, which would be, I believe, 46 teeth. So I usually just start at a tooth that's across from my screw hole so I can easily tell. And I usually only count halfway around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23. So 23 is, you know, I've gone halfway around. So that is a 46 tooth sprocket, and that is going to be on a mid-size kart. So I know where to put those. All right, and then some rear pulleys for the mid-size torque converters. And these go on the regular and the reverse models. So we're restocking those today. These are another thing I sell a lot of at the springtime, beginning of the summer season. I usually sell entire torque converter kits. This, the driver pulley, and a belt. Usually people, they're worn out. They put them up at the end of the season. They leave them all winter, and then they get them out for springtime. And they just want to go ahead and get it all fresh and going, or they don't know how to service it, so they blow them up. So we got those. I'm going to go put all these up before we open up the next box. All right, before I open this, I want to show you what we got. We've redesigned and reprinted our coloring books. Okay, so we used to have a full 8.5 by 11 page, and it was only had 16 pages on the inside, and then the cover was matte, and I actually got them from China, and they would end up being like maybe $2.50 per book by the time I got it printed and shipped and all of that. And these go in our orders with our mini and mid-size carts, because those are the carts that kids are in the age range where they want to color. But it's just my go-kart coloring book, and then it's just got some fun coloring type stuff, make your own racing team, all these different go-kart related things, some activities, a maze, get your go-kart through the maze, write a story about your go-kart, Samson the go-kart dog, and there's pictures of, you know, engines and clutches. And then in the back, we've got our safety steps, so the parent can read through that, and the kid can color it. And this helps with like 4, 5, and 6-year-olds that you need to put on your helmet, make sure you buckle up, you know, check all around the cart, look before you go, all that kind of stuff. And oh no, this page is cut off. Oh no, they didn't cut it all the way. I wonder if I could get my money back. Probably not, it's Amazon. Anyway, so there's our new coloring books. This is an 8.5 by 8.5, and I really, really like this size. On the back, it says, now get back to fun. And even though we send these for free with our new carts, they are also available on Amazon. I think they are $9.99. And that includes, you know, our safety checklist and all of these different coloring pages and activities. So I'll make sure that I drop a link below for this so you can go and grab one if you want to. And when you buy this, it also helps our family out, because we do make a little bit of the money off of selling these books. Now let's get into this other box. It's always like a mystery box because I don't know. This is partially my fault, but I don't keep like purchase orders or anything like that because we send emails. So really, if it got down to it, I could go check my email that I sent and see what all I asked for. But anyway, we've got some recoil assemblies. It's like the pull start on a mid and a mini size engine. I've got a couple orders waiting on these right now, actually. All right, I've got some key switches. That's another thing. People lose their keys all the time. And anytime I sell a key switch, let me grab a keychain. I actually go ahead and send 2 of our keychains for free with every key switch. And the reason I send 2 is because there are 2 keys. And I recommend to everybody who buys a key switch, number 1, separate your keys. So if you lose one, you have a backup somewhere. Number 2, put them on one of our keychains because look how big this is compared to my hand. These are massive. They're bright yellow. They're very difficult to lose. So if you put your keys on here, They're going to be a lot harder to lose. They're going to be much easier to find when you're looking for them. And then you won't be having to buy a $40 key switch because you lost your key. So I go ahead and drop 2 of these in every welcome kit for a new go-kart and every order that buys a key switch from us. And then we've got 3 miscellaneous hardware bags. So this is actually what comes with a go-kart to put all the roll cage bars together when somebody orders a new one. And we sell these in like singles, packs of 4, and then also an entire hardware kit. So I go through these a lot, and I'm completely out of bar bolts for the mid and mini size go-karts. So I got 3 of these packs, and we will separate all of this hardware in just a second. Okay, look, I found one of our old coloring books. It's all crumpled up, but it's a matte finish, 8.5 by 11, and it's just got a lot less pages, and it didn't have all the activities. It's got like 4 pages of the coloring book, and then it's got those safety tips in the back. So I'm excited. There's the old one, and then there's the new one. So I'm excited about these new ones, and I'm excited. These I would have to order like 500 at a time, which ends up being a lot of money all at once, and then sometimes it takes months to get here from China. These, because they're on Amazon KDP, I can order 1 at a time, and I can just pay the author price, which is, like I said, $3 or something like that, maybe less than $3. So I can order 1, I can order 3, I can order 120, but I can just, it's more budget friendly for me right now. Okay, so we've got, oh no, this one had a hole. These bags have chrome cup washers, several sizes of cotter pins, steering wheel bolts, which are these little 6mm, 8mm lock nuts for the frame bolts, the actual frame bolts, which I believe are 45mm. This is an M8, 45mm on the mini and the mids. And then we should have some 6mm bolts, or nuts in here. Here we go, 6mm lock nuts for the steering wheel bolts. And then cotter pins for the front and rear wheels, front axle and rear axle cotter pins. So we're going to separate all these out and then get all the right bins for them. No. Oh, and there is a, I believe that's a 16mm M6 bolt that goes on the fuel tank or the fender bracket. I'm not sure which one that is. It's the same size, but... Here's our chrome washers. Okay, this is our frame bolt nuts. This is our actual frame bolts. Okay, and then I didn't expect these to be in this. So I've got steering wheel bolts, M6 lock nuts. Oh, this is a fuel tank bolt. I need to put that in. And then all these miscellaneous cotter pins I'll set to the side. Alright, I've got some orders to pack today, so I'm going to make sure I'm not showing anybody's information here. And then we're going to get to it. I need to check a couple that I drop shipped and put some tracking information in. Let's go ahead and move on to these. Alright, I need 4 sets of frame bolt hardware. Alright, I forgot to check if this was for a mini or a... Okay, it is for the mini. So there's my cup washers and lock nuts that we just restocked, and I gotta grab 4 frame bolts. There we go. that. I'm down to about 6 of these, so I'm gonna have to order some more packaging soon. We'll just make do with what we have on postal service stuff, but I'm definitely gonna have to find a supplier for some new zip-up bags or some bubble mailers or something. Sometimes it does that. It'll time out and it doesn't recognize it, but now it's not doing it at all. There it goes. Okay. I need to print another one though. It printed the label all crazy. Every couple months it does this where the printer just has some sort of weird thing where it doesn't want to act right.
That's not all of my different tricks that usually work. Okay.
I wonder if there's something wrong with the port on my computer and that's why my hard drive is not working. All right, I need to send a welcome package for a 200 and a blazer. So we're gonna do definitely a coloring book. And then we have these welcome kit assembly guides for all of the models that we sell. It comes with full page or full color, high quality photos of us assembling the car with all of our expert tips so you know exactly what to do. It's got checklists for all your hardware. It's got tips and tricks, service bulletins, everything that you could need to know about your go-kart. And we send that with every brand new go-kart. This order has 2 carts, so I'm going to put in a little bit more than usual. I think I need a new one. Look at that. That got all wonky. Let me grab another one. These hard copy guides are a companion to our video on assembly. We put those videos up to help people guide through it. Some people are just visual learners and need to see you do it. And then we also keep those videos up for people who are thinking about getting a go-kart and they're not sure if they'll be able to put it together. So we got an assembly guide, a coloring book. We don't currently have any assembly guides for that mid-size cart, but I will send a PDF copy of it so they can pull it up on their phone or print it out if they want a copy. And then we'll put in a whole collection of stickers, especially on kids' carts. They really love stickers. There we go. And then we'll get them. I'm actually going to give them 4 keychains on this order because they'll have 2 sets of keys. And so there's 2. And there's 2 more. And again, that's because keys go missing all the time. I'm just trying to, help people out a little bit. And then all of this goes into our Go-Kart Masters bag. And at different times, we have different things in these welcome kits, just depending on what kind of deals we find, what we have on hand. So sometimes these will come with extra tools. Sometimes they'll come with more stickers. Sometimes they'll come with a free gift, a fuel line kit, various different things. Sometimes we run promotions on carts where your welcome kit gets something special, additional for free. So I take this. Ooh, there's spider webs on my mailers over here. Perks of having a shop in a sunroom, right? All right. And then, okay, next order, 2 down. How many more to go? All right, these parts were back ordered from the manufacturer. All right, a regulator and a recoil assembly. I'll put these in a flat rate paint envelope. And I'll probably go ahead and put this in if I can fit it in a bag. I like to put electrical parts especially inside of some sort of sealable bag, just in case, because we don't want them getting moisture on them and ruining them. And we don't take returns on electrical parts because it's impossible to tell if somebody's used it or blown it up or fried it or whatever. So since we don't take returns, I like to take extra care on electrical parts and make sure that they show up in good shape to people. Next order, air filter, 4-pack of frame bolts. We'll get these backed up. All right, this order's got a performance spark plug, a belt cover hardware set, throttle and governor spring set, 4 hubcaps, and a throttle pedal governor bolt with a stopper on it. So I'm going to bag these up. This spark plug probably needs to just go in a padded envelope. They can be a little bit fragile sometimes. So we'll go ahead and ship this flat rate. It's going to cost me a little bit more than what the customer paid. But again, I won't be replacing a broken spark plug, and I'll have a happy customer. Alright, we've got an ignition coil and a fuel line kit. I just need a fuel filter to go with that. I'll put the fuel filter and the clamps in a Ziploc bag because they're small and they're easy to lose. And the rest of it will just go in this bag together. We sell a lot of these fuel line kits, and I keep them in a bunch of different colors. People like to do, I mean, if they've got to replace their fuel line anyway, sometimes they like to get the color that matches their go-kart, kind of make it look customized a little bit, but it's really not like a huge performance upgrade or a really costly thing to do. Kids especially like that. When you slap on some bright red fuel line and show it to them, they think it's like the coolest thing ever. Gonna be one of our coloring books. I don't have any of the mini welcome kits yet. We're out of stock on those, and I'm waiting for them to come from the printer. So we'll get a coloring book and some stickers and some keychains and send those over. And I will just send their assembly guide and their welcome kit book in a PDF format. There's that. And then these weigh about 8 ounces without the assembly guide. This order is for a Bluetooth dongle. This allows a customer with an EFI cart to plug this in, and then it will transmit all the engine codes and information to their Android device. It allows them to tune their car, to check if there's any codes, to change all the specs, to factory reset if something happens with the computer. And we have a video on these about how to set it up, how to use it, and how to change all the different specs inside of there. So check out Go Kart Masters Academy. Alright, we've got one of those mini 10-tooth clutches. It's a really good deal on the flat rate padded envelope on this because it weighs several pounds. It cost me $10.29, where normally it would cost me probably more like $16 or $17 if I just put it in a regular package.